All right, so Russell's a newspaper printer, and he's paid $14.75 an hour for a 36-hour week. So the first thing I've got to do is calculate how much he normally gets a week. So that's fairly straightforward. $14.75 times his 36 hours. Okay, so we've got that there, and we've got that. So what do we get for that? 531. And any cents? No, 531 square. Okay. Next thing we have to do is we have to calculate his total pay for his 4 weeks annual leave if he receives 17.5% annual leave loading. Now, annual leave loading is something that's really cool and very Australian. Okay? Basically, when we go on holidays, for our 4 weeks holiday, we get 17.5% extra money for going on holidays. Okay, that's a very Australian thing. I don't think there's too many other countries that do it. Now, the reason that we get it, I get it as a teacher, I get it, but the reason we get it, and there is actually a legitimate reason. Back in the dim dark days, people used to get paid a relatively base salary, but then what they needed to actually make ends meet was get overtime. So a lot of people worked a lot of overtime. And then they didn't take holidays. So they didn't take their holidays, they're working all this overtime, and the companies were finding that A, their employees were earning a lot of money. B, they were getting burnt out. They were actually working too hard and too much because they had to earn this money. So what the unions did, back in the dim dark ages, was they fought for a 40-hour week, which is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then they also fought for this leave loading thing. And what it meant was that you could take holidays because you sort of were normally working in all week and getting overtime. If you took holidays, you were getting your normal pay, but you weren't getting the overtime, and that could cost people their houses. So what they did was, look, let's amortise it, let's spread it out over the year. What's the average amount of overtime someone would get per week? They would get about 17.5%. So what they've done is for your 4 weeks holiday, we'll pay you 17.5% more. So what it was basically the companies are paying you to go on holidays. Please, go on holidays. Because the other problem they had was because people weren't going on holidays, you couldn't employ as many people. So there were people that were not getting jobs or losing jobs because they had people that wouldn't go on holidays. So there's a lot of reasons, but the whole thing is, the reason we have this 17.5% is to make up for the overtime that you wouldn't make by being on holidays. Okay. So, now what we have to do is we have to calculate his total pay for the 4 weeks, only for the 4 weeks. Okay? So for the 4 weeks, how much is he going to earn? So 4 weeks, 17.5%. How much is he going to earn for the 4 weeks? Let's scroll down a bit. He earns $531 a week. And we want to know for how many weeks?
4 times.
So let's times it by 4, which will give us what? 2,124. So that's how much he gets for the 4 weeks. Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
So now we have to add 17.5% on, because we're giving him some extra. We'll do it the longer way to start off with, just so you can see what the hell's going on. So for that 4 weeks, did you guys do it right?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so you gotta find, don't you have to find 17.5% of that and then add that on your pay?
No, it's alright. I'm just looking at this stuff and it shouldn't say that. It should say 2124.
I looked at that.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at that and making sure, yeah. Okay, so what we have to do now is find the 17.5%. So this is the long way. We're actually doing it in 2 steps. So we'll go, okay, 17.5 or 17.5% times 2124, which is what? 371.70? Okay. So that's the leave loading he gets. The orange bit is the leave loading. So the base pay for his 4 weeks is 21.24. He gets an extra 371.70, which means if we want to add it or get the total, we go 2124 plus 371.70, which gives us a grand total of $2,495.70. Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Okay, there is a quicker way of doing it. And I'll just very quickly show you it.
Wait, what's no.
You can ignore it if you wish. But basically, we are increasing his pay by 17.5%. Would you agree? Okay, so that's 100% of his pay. If we increase 100% by 17.5, how much have we got?
117.5.
Okay, you could have actually taken the 21224 times it by 117.5%. And that will give you 2495.70. It'll give you exactly the same answer, just one step less. But if you're not certain, then don't do it. That's fine. Find your 17.5%, add it to your total. I've just done it in one hit. I've taken the 100%, which is the total, and added it to the 17.5%. Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Woohoo! Yay! I can't find my button.